Hey guys, it's Lino from Ruck to Remember. Um, so as you guys probably know, our big long ruck is coming up soon. In September again, we're going to be covering the 160 kilometers out Ottawa way to help raise money for the Royal Canadian Legion's Operation Leave the Streets Behind. Been doing that for 5 years now. One of the things that we really enjoy about working with the Legion is the transparency that they have around where the money goes and how many people are being helped. So what we wanted to do today was share with you an update on the number of people that have been helped and in what communities since last year. Last year, around end of May, we had an update for you guys as well. So I'm going to go community by community, let you know how many veterans Operation Leave the Streets Behind has been able to help, and then we'll go over the totals, and just so you guys kind of know, where all the proceeds go, and just how much work the Legion actually does in order to make sure that our veterans are getting help. I'm not going to go over the individual totals for a number of reasons, but I'll give a total of funds raised at the end. So we'll start from the top in alphabetical order. This might take a little bit, so bear with me. So this is all in Ontario, unless named otherwise. So Alliston, we helped a veteran there. Angus, 2. Arthur, 1. Astorville was 1. Aura, 1. 14 in Barrie. We did a tour through Barrie on one of our rucks as well. Love that town. Bath, 2. Belleville, 1. Blind River, 1. Bracebridge, 1. Bradford, 2. Brampton, 4. Brantford, 1. Brighton, 2. Brockville, 1. Berks Falls, 1. 2 veterans in Burlington. 15 in Cambridge. 1 in Chatham. 4 in Cobourg. 1 in Coldwater. 2 in Coppercliff. 2 veterans in Cornwall. A veteran in Curtis. A veteran in Crystal Beach, Delta. 1 in Downsview. A veteran in East York and in Elliott Lake. 2 veterans in Etobicoke. 1 veteran in Fergus. 1 veteran in Fort Erie. 3 veterans in Gatineau, Quebec. 2 veterans in Gloucester. 2 in Godric. 1 veteran in Granton. 1 in Gravenhurst. 4 veterans in Guelph. 56 veterans in my hometown of Hamilton. 1 in Hammond. 2 veterans in Hastings. 1 veteran in Hawkesbury. 1 veteran in Huntsville. 1 in Jackson Point. 3 veterans in Canada. 1 veteran in Keene. 1 veteran in Keswick. 45 veterans in Kingston. Obviously a very important military town. 5 veterans in Kitchener. 1 in Lakehurst. 1 in LaSalle. 1 veteran in Levi, Quebec. 1 in Lindsay. 2 veterans in Listowel. I spent a good part of my childhood in Listowel, actually. 42 veterans in London. Another big military town where one of our guys did basic. Actually, it was down in London. 2 veterans in Luriganal. 1 in Maple. 2 veterans in Markham. 1 in McGregor. 1 in Michigan. 1 in Meaford, obviously another big military town. 3 veterans in Midland. 9 out in Mississauga. 2 in Mount Bridges. Another 6 veterans in Nepean. 5 in Newmarket. Another veteran in Newsat. 2 veterans in Niagara Falls helped. 19 veterans in North Bay. That one was a little shocking for me. Not a huge town, North Bay. So that's a fair amount. 11 in North York. 1 in Norwich. 4 veterans in Oakville. 3 in Orillia, another town that we did a tour through a couple years ago. 1 veteran in Orleans. 6 veterans in Oshawa. 107 veterans in Ottawa where we're doing the ruck this year. So obviously a big need out in our capital. 3 veterans in Owen Sound. 10 in Pembroke. 4 veterans helped in Pentang. 11 veterans in Petawawa, another obviously big military town where we're going to be starting this year's ruck. 4 in Peterborough. one veteran in Pickering, another one in Porcupine, another one in Port Colborne, another one in Port Dover, another 3 veterans were assisted in Port Hope, 2 in Powassan, 1 in Priceville, another one in Richmond Hill, another veteran in Rockland, a veteran in Russell, 1 in Sarnia, 1 in Sabo Beach, 2 veterans in Sault Ste. Marie, 8 veterans in Scarborough, 1 in Seaforth, 2 veterans helped in Sealy's Bay, 1 veteran in Shallow Lake, 1 in Sharbet Lake, 2 veterans in Smith Falls assisted, 12 veterans in St. Catharines, 2 veterans in St. Thomas, 1 in Sturgeon Falls, 4 in Sudbury, 1 in Tecumseh, 1 in Timmins, 1 in Tobermory, 174 veterans assisted in Toronto, in our province's capital. I said I wasn't going to go into the financials, but well over $100,000, spent in that city alone, helping our veterans. 5 in Trenton, 3 in Tyendinaga, 1 U.S. Army veteran that was helped as well, actually, which is great. The veteran support, or the Legion rather, supports veterans from all Commonwealth countries in the U.S. As well. I'm not sure if everyone knew that. But 1 in Wallaceburg, 3 veterans in Wasaga Beach, 2 in Waterloo, 3 veterans in Welland, 1 in Wendover, 1 in Whitby, 2 in Willowdale, 10 veterans in Windsor, 1 in Woodridge, 1 in Woodstock, and that's the total right now. So a grand total so far of 127 different communities Operation Leave the Streets Behind has assisted. That includes 4 veterans from Quebec, 1 U.S. Army veteran, like I mentioned, and 1 from Mohawk Territory as well. So when it's all said and done, Operation Leave the Streets Behind has raised and spent $1.8 million on veterans, assisted 618 unique people, 56 of whom were women. So the work they're doing is great. We love getting these updates from them every year about, where the money that we're raising for them is going. We love the transparency that's involved. And it's one of the reasons why we continue to work with them, every year for the Long Rock. Now, obviously, we have no problem lifting up the heavy stuff and carrying it for days on end. That's our gig, but none of this stuff happens without folks like you donating. So if you haven't had a chance yet to donate to the Road to Recovery, the link's in our bio. Obviously, you can go there and check it out. Donate to this year's Road to Recovery. Again, it's going to be in the Ottawa Valley. We're going to start at Petawawa, and then conclude in Kanata, just outside of Ottawa, over the course of 4 days. So, feel free to follow along then. We'll be from September 14th through the 16th. So it should be a good time by a certain definition of good. But, we wanted to give you the update on where all the money was going. So, we know we live in an age where transparency is really important. So there it is. We'll save this one to our story so that if you ever want to go back and look at it, then you have that opportunity. It will be a highlight. So go check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. And just let us know if you have any questions. All right. Have a good weekend. Bye.